Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Tanya. I am the producer of the Mucho Dinero TV show. I am so excited. I have a very special guest in here today. His name is Mr. Ibaz. He's hailing from Nigeria. So tell you what, go get your friends, get you some water, get you some notes because we're going to learn from him. He's a very intelligent man. He hails from Nigeria. He's an energetic researcher. He's a human resource manager over a pharmaceutical company. And you're in for a treat. I'm in for a treat. So grab your friends, share this out. Let's get ready to learn from him. Once again, this is Dr. Tanya from the Mucho Dinero show. And I'm so happy to have Mr. Ibaz here today. Greetings, my brother. Greetings.
Thank you. It's a pleasure for me. Thank you.
Thank you. So, Mr. Abaz, can you tell us a little bit more about you, where you're from, what you do?
Okay. All right. My name is Abasifreke Ebong. Abbas, short form for Abasifreke, but I don't really like bugging a lot of people with that. It's a native name, which means God will not forget. But my English name is Precious from Nigeria, South Nigeria. What motivates me has been a lot in life, which has been excellence, trying to pursue my purpose on earth, because that's how I measure my level of success. It's not really about how much money you make in life, but it's about the much impact you've created by the time I leave the world. So that has been my motivational factor. And by career, the human resources manager of Amela Nigeria Limited, and professionally wise, an analytical, researcher. My interest has been in the environmental sciences, trying to blend GIS, geographic information system, with statistics and the computer as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's an interesting. You have an interesting career, and your research is also so interesting. I want to give thanks to Lillian. She's the founder of the Edo Women of Foundation of Entrepreneurs. I met you through her, and ever since I've heard you do two presentations so far, and your presentation skills are awesome, and I learned
Thank
so
you.
much from you. So much from you. It was about you taught us about cybersecurity for businesses, some of the things that we have to do in order to make sure that our businesses are not hacked.
Yeah.
We have people that are listening from around the world. I was wondering, is there a way, could you give us a couple of tips on cybersecurity for businesses?
Okay, now it's just when we're talking about cybersecurity, it's just a way of or a practice or an act, yeah, of defending your computers against theft. That's how much simple the definition could be. It's just like you're having a house, you have the burglaries, you have the doors, you have the gates, and most modern facilities today, you have CCTVs, to monitor every of the activities around you and all of those, even your car. So likewise, the business, even the social space as well, it must be protected against the hackers. Access to your system. And when I talk about system, not just to the PC alone, but your mobile devices, any kind of electronic systems as well. They could have access even down to ATMs, the automated teller machines the banks uses as well. So it's a good thing, anyways, if you do everything possible to secure your gadget against theft. And mind you, even your network security, your HTTPS, as hypertext transfer protocol, your internet protocol, and your HTML, all of the marking languages should be protected against these guys. And mind you, these guys are not novice. I was reading something some times ago, and I learned that there are some courses, some illegal universities run that even teaches these guys how to hack. And I was like, oh my god! So that means people even go in to offer such courses. And funny enough, even your application, yeah, yeah, even some invest, but I'm not gonna mention the names out anyways here. But it's something that information that we just have to be very careful and keep our ears to the ground to be able to know that these guys are out full flesh. And even down to your applications, yeah, they have to be secure. Okay, now let me give you an instance. Do you know, as simple as WhatsApp is, that people could have access to it, people could hack into, so that even when you're communicating with someone, you're chatting with someone, you feel that, oh, it's a two-end, two-way traffic, the receiver and the sender. In tech terms, we call it encoder decoder. But funny enough, there could be a third party. That's why WhatsApp, Facebook, and the rest, they would say something about encryption. Now you have to do two-way step verification and all of those, password and all of those. Why? To make sure that it's going to be a bit difficult for these guys to have access to. Even your information too must be secure. What do I mean? For instance, last week, let me share a particular scenario with us. My MD asked me to document the sales graph of our company for a period of 10 years. And a company like this, such information must be very discreet. And I need to use the Excel, try to plot the graph, the trend, so that we can come up with a tentative decision and how far we have gone, the years that we couldn't do well, because it's going to be like a line graph so that we know the flow and all of those. And when I was done, I had to password it, forwarded it via Google Drive to my MD's mail. And I forgot to tell her, hey, look, I've passworded. So when she downloaded, she was like, it's not opening. Hey, Abaz, what's happening? Oh, yeah, it now dawned on me that, oh, it was being password. I was like, oh, hold on, man, let me forward the password to you. So imagine if that kind of an information was mistakenly sent to a hacker, or an hacker, or a hacker, beg your pardon, had access to such an information. Definitely our profit, our sales figure would have been made public. And these guys would have known how much we make a year. So such information, you don't just send information out. Even if you're sending it to a trusted fellow, it must be passworded. Yeah. Only the fellow should have access to the password, because and the password, like I said the other time when I was giving the discussion at Ido Women's Foundation, I said something. The passwords shouldn't just be something that someone could guess. Funny enough, there's an app that could help these guys guess weak passwords. I'm going to repeat. There is an app that could help this individual guess weak passwords. Here, there's nothing folk stars, young stars can't do over the internet. It's a jet age. So everything must be very fast, trying to make money in a quick way and all of those. So as funny as the information, it must be well secured here. And even the final thing here is even when the information is hacked, people do not really talk much about the recovery process. How can your information be recovered? That's another focus, which I think I might not be permitted to talk more about that because of time factor. But even if you're trying to prevent yourself or your business, your information from being hacked, also know that even if it's being hacked, do something about the recovery process. For instance, even if you make use of a flash drive or a hard disk, even a memory card, even your system, we all hear that, oh, my system has crashed, or my hard disk has crashed. You're trying to plug in external hard disk to a system, and the system prompted you that, oh, it's not working, you need to force format it. And if at the end of the day, you force format it, recover the information, the files in the hard disk, you know that everything is gone.
That's
You just know that everything.
interesting.
Yeah. Now, take for instance, even just like the mobile phone we use, I hear a lot of people like, "Oh, I lost my contact." I'm sure you've heard of that before. I lost my music.
I
I
have.
lost my videos. I lost my pics. Yeah. So for the fact that your system has crashed, if you had taken the precautionary measures to make sure that even if it crashes today, that your information can still be retrieved. That's a major milestone. So I think these are the basic factors that we look at when we're talking about cybersecurity. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ibaz. And you guys, everybody that's listening, I want you to know that if you need any help, that Mr. Ibaz, he does. He is a personal development coach, but he will also help you with your cybersecurity. So I've already placed Mr. Ibaz's information, his point of contact information in the link that's attached to this video. So because I don't know how to protect I don't know how to do that, Miss Debaz. So I'm gonna have to ask you to help me do that because it because
Then I'm going to charge you for that.
because we need that. We really do need that. I want to go back and tell you that talk with Mr. Noel said he's super proud of you, Mr. Debaz, his brother. Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you.
that's my kid. That's my kid brother. Yeah.
Well, it's great that we have support. It's really great that we have support. And I wanted there's several people that's listening from around the world. I don't know where they're listening from, but I want to welcome everybody. This is Mr. Ibaz. I'm Dr. Tanya. I'm the host of the Mucho Donero Show. And on this show, we empower, we educate, and we promote. So it's so important that we get together and have these type of conversations because Mr. Ibaz, I agree with you. We really should put those measures in place so that our
Yeah.
business will not be hacked. I had no idea
Sure.
that there was courses on teaching people how to hack. That is
Of
so
course.
unethical to
Of
me.
course.
That's horrible. That is so horrible.
Yeah, yeah, of course. We live, like I said, we live in a jet age that these young ones, they actually know that, oh, it's illegal to do these things, but they don't mind because everyone looks for cash and they just want to do everything possible to make sure that they get it anywhere and anyhow. Yeah.
And that,
For instance, let me just give you another scenario. In our
okay.
company, we have a digital clocking to measure punctuality, to know when a staff comes in and gets out, and we attach that to our payroll because some could be very funny to play trance. And funny enough, if you have a very smart staff, very smart ICT wise, and a simple device as a clocking is not being persuaded by the admin, either with the password or with the thumbprint, do you know that a smart staff could actually outsmart you? Yeah.
Um,
How? What do I mean? Now, when you're trying to download the report either wirelessly or via the flash to the system, a very smart staff would have gone in behind to make sure that he or she has manipulated. Oh, I came in by 9 instead of 8. Okay, so let me go back to the back end to manipulate it to make sure that even when they download it, to still read 8 o'clock. So these are some of the things you need to do to checkmate most of these abnormalities.
Thank you so much. That's some great tips. I wouldn't have thought of that either. So, and I know that that's vital. I know that setting these systems in place to protect a business is so vital. So, thank you so much for sharing that with us, Mr. Ibaz. Now,
Thank you.
as we talked earlier offline, we talked about on how on November 17th I'm doing a vision board party, and
Okay.
I'm a believer, and I believe that you write the vision, you make it plain, and then you
Yeah.
plan so that it can be manifested.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
so it's a free vision board party. I'm going to be hosting it here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm also going to be doing it virtually. So I'd like to change the focus from our conversation into really a manifestation of your dreams, and if you will, I would like to just talk a little bit about and ask you a few questions about success and living out your dreams. I come from a very humble beginnings. I grew up on a dirt road in South Carolina. That's where I really come from. We had chickens in our yard. We had hogs. We had fruit trees in the back of the yard. I walk around during the summers with no shoes on, bare feet, having fun. So I come from a very, very humble beginning. And so to the fact that I'm living in a really in Las Vegas, a major city, it's a big thing to me. It's a big thing to me that I actually really earned the doctorate, for real, really earned the doctorate. I have a couple of successful businesses, and my husband and my husband's retired, but I'm semi-retired. So I understand that when you want to do something, there's a process to it. So if I want to ask you a couple of questions, I hope that's okay.
Yeah,
The
fine.
first,
I'm ready.
okay. The first question is, what is your greatest motivator? Your greatest motivator.
Okay. Okay. I'm still trying to reboot because the question seems is going to be much vast. And as a speaker, likely we might not going to end today if I'm to really speak on that. But limit myself to the question that is being asked. I hope you can hear me, please.
I can hear you, but you were coming in and out.
Okay.
So yeah, you were coming in and out. But the first question is, what is your greatest motivator?
Okay. My greatest motivator in life has always been my passion for excellence, quality, yeah, and result oriented. Because I've come to realize one thing in life that this afternoon, while in office, we had a board meeting with my MD, and I like the woman so much because she's a go-getter, she's vision engraved, she knows what she wants in life. Now, problem will never cease. Challenges as well will never cease. But what gives us that drive has always been idea formulation. And that's why anytime we hire as the HR in my company, I source for people who have critical.
It looks like Mr. Abbas has frozen. So this is normal. This is what happens. This is not abnormal. This is what happens sometimes when we are streaming live. So there's no worries at all. I am going to
Set
wait.
up less.
Mr. Ibaz, yeah, I was going to wait a little bit. I'm going to wait until he comes back. Okay. So we were just asking Mr. Ibaz what is his greatest motivator? And one of the things he said was that he has a desire, he has a passion for doing things with the spirit of excellence. And I can relate to that. I really can relate to that. And we wanted to talk about today, he and I wanted to talk about the steps that it takes in order to manifest your dreams or manifest really what you want. And every year I do this vision board party. Every year I do the vision board party. We get together. Some people have the boards the way that he would do with the magazine pictures cut out and what have you. Some people decided they're just going to do a booklet. They actually write out what their goals are and what their dreams are in a particular booklet. Some people just have a piece of paper and they write it all out. But no matter what, we all get together. We all get together and we share our dreams, we share our desires. So thank you, Vivian. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you for that. Um, and what we do is we get together, we share our dreams, we share our desires, we share what we want to do, and then we talk about it. And at the end, we always end up praying in the end. So there's a little short prayer at the end. But what's important is that we make it happen, that we actually do it and we make it happen. Hi, Mr. Boz. I've been waiting on you. We're patient. You're back on.
Yeah,
Thank you
I'm
so
very
much.
sorry.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
thank you.
So the question is, what is your greatest motivator? What motivates you? And earlier you said that it was a passion for doing everything with the spirit of excellence. And you were talking about how your MD
Exactly.
is uh,
Yeah.
pushes you, and she really has a spirit of excellence. So I'm going to go ahead and let you finish the question.
Yeah. Okay. Now, besides that has been quality. Now, there might be just two slots for a vacancy, a particular vacancy, and you come to discover that within 1 week of the advertisement, you discover that over 70 people have applied for just two slots online.
Wow.
And I go through the hassles of trying to sieve, yeah, trying to sieve the best candidate. Now, the question I keep asking myself, if I were to be in their shoes, has always been, what makes me stand out from the multitude? That's one question. What do I need to do that even if it was just one slot and 1,000 apply, that I'm going to be the one? Yeah, I understand there is a place for grace, no doubt. But I also believe that there's also a place for hard work. So hard
Yes.
work has also been one of the greatest motivators. Thank you.
Great. That's great. That's a great answer. And thank you for sharing that with us. Because I take that as being a tip, because an HR tip when you're looking for a job, hard work, and be sure that you stand out, when you're applying for these jobs. Wow. That's a really, really, because
Yeah,
character matters. What you do when nobody is watching matters to me also, you know, and having a good heart.
absolutely.
Having a
Absolutely.
good heart really is very
Exactly.
important to me.
Integrity.
Integrity, yes. Okay, so I got another question, number two. What life lesson has
Okay.
life taught you?
Oh, what life lesson has life taught me? To stay humble and be diligent in everything I do. Because you can't tell where that little thing you did would speak for you. Yeah. So stay humble where you are and be hopeful. Whatever you're trying to do it with all your might. Now, for instance, I've gone through a lot of experiences in life, anyways. Even though I might be very young in age, in my early 30s, but I like using myself like the precision we had before the live coverage. I told you about what I do besides my career, my profession, which is public speaking, holding symposiums, conferences, seminars, and the rest. Now, the greater lessons life has taught me has been to stay humble and be good in whatever you're doing. For instance, when I started speaking, when I was very young, I was a very shy and very shy guy. There were moments that even in my nursery school, when I was even called out for an award, I mean an award, something due. I was so shy to the point I couldn't step out. It was that bad. And I woke up one day and I asked myself, hey, you don't need to go with this. What if tomorrow you end up being the president of the country? What happens? So by that time, I decided to work on myself, my pronunciation, my body language, try to build up my vocabularies and all of those. So, and here am I today that a lot of young ones, even my contemporaries, seem to appreciate me. I like the way you talk and all of those. And funny enough, I asked a few of them, find time, meet with me. Let me tell you my history. Because we seem to celebrate only success, not minding the history. But the truth of the matter is, for you to grow further in life, you don't need to discard history. Because the past will better shape you for the future. So those are some of the lessons life has taught me. Thank
And
you.
that's some great points. That's some great points, Mr. Ibaz. Great points, because you're right. I think about my grandparents and my great grandparents quite often, the
Okay.
older that I get, because as I age, because they were so instrumental in developing the person that I am today.
Okay.
The hard work, being a risk taker. When people tell you no, no, you don't listen to people. You go further, you go on.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's so important that we, in our minds, that, we have to keep that in the back of our minds. You're right. We can't throw
Absolutely.
away the past. And what I really like about the fact is the fact that there is a process. I often say that I'm submitted to the process of my development,
Oh yeah.
spiritually, physically, emotionally, every area of my life. I'm submitted to it. And that means
Yeah.
I have to get up early if I want to pray. That means I have to exercise. I have to eat right. I have
Oh
to
yeah.
show love to
Yeah.
everyone. So I have to work on me. So it's amazing because I don't see any shyness in you now. So you've done an excellent job, you know, because you're, like you have great presentation skills, when you present. So you guys are listening to him now. If you need someone to come and speak, either at a small gathering or a huge gathering, um, Mr. Abbas, he is available. He's very knowledgeable on not only HR management, but also in the IT field. He's very knowledgeable on that. And he's also very knowledgeable on personal development, as you can see, based upon what we've been talking about today. So it's almost that time for us to come to the end. But before we end, I would like to ask you one more question, if I may. Um,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
okay.
It's fine.
So, so how do you, Mr. Yabaz, measure success? How do you measure success?
Okay. Um, I try as much as possible to measure success on the impact you have created over time. Now, this is what I mean. While I was young, it was always very obvious that people die at the age of 90, people die at the age of 100 and 80. But as I'm growing up, funny enough, you might agree with me that you see young ones going at the age of 25. Even while I was pursuing my second degree, my master's degree, we lost two of our colleagues to road accidents, less than 30. And even in high school, you see people going at the age of 19. So what I'm trying to say in essence is the world has changed. Mortality rate is on the increase. Now, how do I measure success? The impact you have lived, because you don't know when you're going to leave.
I do agree with Mr. Yabaz on that. The impact, the impact that you make is a great measure of success. I think about how I am in my personal life. I have a desire to leave a legacy to my family. That's so important. And it's not about the abundance of things or building up money at all for me. And I think Mr. Boz feels the same way. That's not the case at all. It really is about the impact that we make, the imprint that we leave here on earth. How my grandkids and my great grandkids will feel about me. How the people that I service in the business, the people that I serve in the ministry, how they're going to feel the positive impact that I'm able to make to them. So, Mr. Ibaz, that's a great point. The impact, the measurement of success being the impact. It looks like you're frozen on your end, so I'm going to wait a few more minutes. So on November 17th, as you can see, there's a link going across the screen. And that's how I'd like you to go ahead and register for the vision board party. We've had, I think this is our fourth. No, I started in Georgia several years ago. I had it at my home one time, but we've actually hosted it several times over the last 10 years. And it's become an annual thing for us. So be sure to register for the Vision Board Party. Mr. Ibaz, can you hear me? This conversation has been so rich. Okay, he'll be back in a minute. And here's the thing, we're streaming. It's amazing. I love technology because it's amazing that we could actually be able to talk to someone. Now, here I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, in my office space. Mr. Ibaz is in his office space in Nigeria, Africa. And we were able to have a full-fledged conversation, a full conversation today about success, about how to protect your company concerning cybersecurity. And I just think that's so awesome, so important. That's awesome. Thank you so much for registering. Thank you for registering. Remember, it is free. The Vision Board Party is free. You made a great impact already in my life, Mr. Ibaz. Whether you know it or not, you
Wow.
have.
Thank
Yes, you have.
you.
Yes, you have.
Thank
I
you. Yeah.
on purpose, I wanted to share you with the world, because so much information on the inside of you that you've shared with us, and it's helping people, I believe, around the world. And I agree with you that
Yeah.
measurement of success has a lot to do with the positive impact you make on the
Exactly.
people that's in your life, in your
Exactly.
country, in your community. And you and I had
Exactly.
talked about that. I'm from a
Yeah.
real small town, and I've had family members and acquaintances die because of violence. And they weren't
Wow.
even 25 years old. Not one, not
Wow.
two, but several. And
Yeah.
so you have a heart for youth, and so do I. And whatever we're doing to make a positive impact where we are, right where we are in our communities, on our job, in our churches, in our online churches, in our
Yeah.
in our businesses is so important to me. So
Yeah.
before we end, I love the fact that I can speak to you and I'm in Vegas and you're in Nigeria. So before
Right.
we end, is there anything you would like to say to everybody before we leave?
Okay. The only thing I just want to say in a couple of seconds is try as much as possible to my fellow youths, irrespective of where you are. All right. I hear a lot of people saying the particular country is hard. I want to migrate from country A to country B. Very well, you may be right, but I'm of the opinion that anywhere you are in a local entity, you could try as much as possible to internationalize your mindset, even when you are in a localized entity. What do I mean by that? Try as much as possible to work on yourself, courtesy personal development, and whatever you're doing, do it excellently because you do not know when you will have the opportunity to sell through. Thank you. It's
That's
been a great
awesome.
pleasure, Doctor.
Thank you, Mr. Ibaz. And
And
I
I
look
hope to
forward.
see you physically very soon.
Oh, you will. I have, you know what? We're gonna get together. I got some things on my vision board, about
Okay.
getting going coming to Africa. My desire is to come to Africa and host an event similar to what we're talking about right now. But then when
Right.
I come to Africa, I want to come as the bank. So I want to come as the person with resources, with
Okay.
money, you know, come as the
That's
bank,
great.
you know.
That's great.
So that's
Yeah.
something that's so important to me. But I'm pretty sure that we will see each other in person um
Yeah.
real soon because I'm really planning that. So I want to thank you, Mr. Baz, for coming
Thank you very
today.
much.
Now you have to make me a promise. This is the last question. Promise
Okay.
me you'll come back on the show and talk again.
Definitely. Anytime. 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 Because I think at the end of the day, I have carefully, let me just make a confession here. Right from the first day we connected, courtesy the Edo Women Founders, I think Symposium Meet Up. I was always following you up, especially on your LinkedIn, and I was like seeing what you're doing, your TV shows. And I'm like, this woman is really great. And funny enough, anytime I get back home, I talk to my mom about you. She doesn't know you, do not know her. But I just, I sense that your purpose and mine seems to align. So that is why I look up to you as the
Thank
mother
you.
figure, the mother
Thank
figure
you.
that, hey, look, Abbas, you need to be like this. Get the knowledge from her. Let her impact on you. And I think this is the beginning of the answered prayers.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that compliment. I look forward to hugging your mother one day. Definitely. Look forward to seeing her and hugging her one day for sure. All right.
Yeah,
So, you
thank you.
guys,
Thank you.
you've heard it. Mr. Ibaz has been here. He has taught us, he's enlightened us, he has motivated us. So if you can on the replay, type replay. And if this has been a blessing to you, I'd like you to write the number 8 in the comments area. Replay number 8, because I believe in new beginnings. I believe in new beginnings. Every day is a new beginning. It's a new day for us to manifest our dreams and to help others. God bless you, Mr. Yvonne. Thank you for being a part of the podcast and the TV show.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Oh, we got some number 8s. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much for listening to the Mucho Dinero show. You all are such a blessing. And if you're watching this on a replay, be sure to go ahead and just drop in the comments exactly what you've learned. Maybe one of the takeaways from this session today. It was all about us coming to you and motivating you. In closing, what I'd like to do is, if I can find it, let's see. I like to share Habakkuk 2 and 2. Habakkuk 2 and 2 tells us to write the vision and make it plain, Um, don't give up on your dreams. I'm pushing you forward into your dreams. Keep on dreaming and join us on November 17th, okay? Join us on November 17th for the free virtual vision board party. People are registering every day. I'm so excited about everything concerning you, concerning our dreams. God bless you and have an awesome day.